Hello, everybody. It's Monday and it's raining, so I have allergies. I'm going to apologize in advance for the nasaliness that I've got going on. But I'm here, and we are on the second to last session on Bjorn here. I'm so excited with how he's turning out. Today, it's a bit of like a boring task, I guess, but I'm going to be edge highlighting all of the silver metallics that we got going on there, because like literally everything else is done. The only other thing that I'm going to need to do is like take a fine liner marker and like write stuff on his little banners. I haven't decided. I think I'm going to just write Bjorn here, because that's what it's has in like the art, but I have to do some research because I'm not sure what this is supposed to say. Um, so yeah. I guess I'll just get started. So, I'm just gonna put him here carefully. So when I edge highlight my metallics, I take lead belcher, which is the color that I, oh, we're shaking, which is the color that I dry brushed all that silver in the beginning. So I take that and then I add, it's about a 1-to-1. Maybe it's a little bit more lead belcher than silver, but it's pretty close to 1-to-1 of lead belcher and pro acryl silver. I also like to do this because I like the texture of the Citadel metallics for edge highlighting. So I find that when I try to edge highlight with thinner paint, it just kind of doesn't work as well. So I'm going to go ahead and mix those in my palette. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like I have a theory that I'm allergic to mold, so as soon as it rains, like that's when I get congested and stuff. Um it's been kind of like wet and gross. Like it's spring here. So it's been kind of wet and gross all week. But it just really started to rain last night. Um so that's my theory, because when I lived on the coast as a kid also, like just outside of Vancouver, it rained all the time. Like it always had like a fine mist everywhere. Um, I always had allergies, like always, and I thought it was cats, but now I'm starting to think it's probably, well, I mean it is cats too. I get a rash from cats, but I'm starting to think that the hay fever is like mostly mold. That's my theory, but I have not done like the allergy testing stuff because it's desert, so it doesn't really affect me long term usually. I played 40K last night, and it really made me thankful for Age of Sigmar. 40K is fun, but like when you compare it to Age of Sigmar, it's like not as fun at all. So, uh, sometimes you just have to like try stuff again. Be like, was my evaluation last time correct? Oh yes, yes it was correct. Also, I've been working on this guy. Let's see if I can get him to focus. No, if I go closer. To focus on him. Let's take you out of the way. There we go. I've been working on this guy off stream. This is Rothgorn from Rothgorn's Man Trappers. He's really fun. I really like the sort of color that I got on this buckskin here. I think it adds like a nice little bit of contrast on him. And just continuing on with the theme in my entire army with this blue fur, like all the animals are kind of blues. Uh, so he's almost done. I should finish him in the next couple days, I think. Depends how motivated I am to actually paint today. Okay, so I got my color all mixed. I don't want too much water on my brush because I find it a little bit difficult to edge highlight when there's too much liquid in the paint, but I find when I add the monument hobbies to it, it just gets like the perfect consistency for this. Hey, Maya, how's it going? I'm glad you're here. Oh, dog hair. I always find it so fitting when I have dog hair on my brush and I'm painting space wolves. Just seems so great. So I'm also going to do all the rivets at the same time. So there's rivets um, on the sort of Space Wolf blue panels as well. So I'm just going to touch those as I go. I'm really excited because this week we're going to play Cyberpunk. I was sick for so long that it took us a while to actually go from session 0 to session 1. So I'm really excited that's happening this week. Cyberpunk is like my favorite role-playing game. And I really like my character. I think she's going to be really fun to play. We random rolled a lot of our characters, so that's kind of cool. So with this, I'm not going to get like everything. I'm just trying to get parts that would catch a lot of the light. You have new clothes coming. I just got a bunch of new clothes in the mail today. I had an interesting problem bottling today. You know that scenario where you think you'll never run out of glue, so you just keep going with the bottle you got? Oh no! Ran out of glue. We always have like a stash. We have like a glue drawer in one of our organizers. It's just full. Well, I think we have two actually. Maybe it's one. But it's all full of different types of glue, so we'll never run out. I need to get my group together for Starfinder Session 2. Starfinder does seem pretty cool. I just like how super customizable everything is, like all your characters and stuff are in Cyberpunk. And I like that there's no alignment. And I like that it's like theater of the mind a lot of the time. Sometimes I feel like the rules of Dungeons and Dragons are so specific that it's a little bit it's like it boxes you in a little bit. And I think I was spoiled because my husband was my first game master ever and he's just really good at it. So Cyberpunk is always like close to my heart. Oh, I forgot I have to do this little thing here. It escaped me. That's okay. I'm just gonna paint it black, like a little black rune stone. Went looking through the whole house and not a single bottle. Ordered some more today. Yeah, I'm like one of those people that usually when something is getting down low, I just go buy more. Because I hate being without the things that I need. It actually makes me like irrationally angry. So we are the household that has like a stash of toilet paper. I went daring and ordered two different crop tops. I ordered like a cute little crop top too. It is very much not for this weather though, so I'm waiting for the warmer weather to be able to wear that. It's so cute. Yeah, I actually got a bunch of clothes for summer, so a lot of that stuff's gonna have to just like wait it out for a month or two more. Okay, so when I'm looking in here, I'm just gonna catch just a few edges where I think the light might legitimately catch. I'm not gonna do like a whole lot, but I'm still gonna get those rivets because I think it just breaks up the armor panel nice. Oh man, why don't you keep messing up these rivets, Tanya? Goodness. Let's try that again. It's better. I love the concept of D&D, can never seem to find the groove to continue playing, and if I DM it, accidentally becomes Warhammer. Oh, that's funny. I have 4 bottles of unopened glue and 6 cans of spray primer on my desk. See, that's the way that I mostly do it too. We have so much hobby supplies in this house. And they're mostly organized, you know. We've been kind of good about keeping up on that. So I'm not going to do too much for this in terms of edge highlighting. I don't want the silver bits to be like the focal point. I get 2 rivets here. See, this is like the kind of annoying part about this is like going rivet hunting. It's like where's Waldo, but like where's all the rivets? I have so many models to paint, but it's been hard to get back into painting. I kind of feel that. I go through like moments of burnout, and I'm kind of in a bit of a burnout right now. Um, but I feel like it's coming back. But yeah, sometimes like all I want to do is paint, and then sometimes I just do not want to paint at all. So, but having streaming is really good for me because it gives me like an obligation to paint, keeps me in the habit of doing it. Is that metal Bjorn the Fell-Handed? Yes. Yes, it is. We're nearing the end, so I just have like a couple more things to paint on here and then do the basing. We're going to do the basing next week on him. And he looks so much better than when we got him. So we got him secondhand. Poor guy. He had a very strange paint job. But he's starting to look beautiful again, if I may say so myself. We'll never run out of paint, but I have the sister's Christmas box to finish, along with some orc bikes. So glue is something I didn't take into account. I haven't seen that model in a long while. Yeah, so my Space Wolves are just like stuff I want to paint. So I have some old stuff. Actually, Jim Vessel gave me. Well, I won it, but he sent me. It's like a very old, like I think it's a Games Day exclusive Space Wolf. So I do want to like put that together and paint it at some point too. Um, and and yeah, so I'm just painting the stuff that I think looks cool and yeah, I think Old Metal Bjorn looks really cool, especially with paint on him. But yeah, I for some reason, so Space Wolves are my favorite faction for the lore aspect of things. Um, and for some reason they just don't vibe with me on the table. So they're just like a straight up hobby army for me now, which sort of gives me the freedom to do whatever I want because I don't have to sort of chase the meta. If I want to paint models that are legends or anything, like I can just do that. And it's been nice. It's been really freeing to have a faction that like just exists to be painted. Like that's kind of cool because all my other factions are like models I intend to play with. Have you bought the Cadia Stands box? Yes, I have. And it's all put together, but um I made the Cadian shock troops like they said I could in the book, and then they fact it. So now they're not legal. So now I have to wait until they release the Acadian shock troops on their own, and then I can make them legal, and it's just, so I need 2 more boxes. It's just such a freaking pain. I'm just kind of over 40k right now. So yeah, like most of my infantry is not really usable to play the game, so I'm just gonna wait until 10th before I do anything else on them, and like make my decisions based off what happens then. So yeah, super pain in the butt. Oh, you sent me pictures? Okay, I'll check that out after the stream. That's how I am about orcs. How's that? Like you just like them and you don't really want to play them? I'm kind of like that with my orcs too. I enjoy playing them from time to time, but they're not like my favorite army to play. I usually end up making like just like weird lists with them that are not great, but are still kind of fun. Whew. I love orc lore and aesthetic, but yeah, not playing them. Yeah, so yeah, that's the same as my Space Wolves. Sometimes it happens, but I still intend to get to painting all my stuff. Man, I'm like trying not to accumulate new stuff, but like I felt like I had to get all the guard stuff, at least one of all the new guard stuff, because I know I'm gonna want to go back to guard at some point. Um, but yeah, I don't know, it just like really soured me when that FAQ came out, and I had spent so much time like finding plasmas for them and stuff, and then I was like, oh, okay, cool, cool. So yeah, just gonna take a break on 40k until 10th. Like I said, I did play 40k yesterday, and I like the entire time I was like, I wish I was playing Age of Sigmar. It's just so much more fun. Also, the whole like each new model has to be more ridiculous than the last one. It's just like so tiring. It's like a meme at this point. I'm taking a break from card games and want to get into Age of Sigmar. Seems really cool and not as intimidating as 40k. And you are correct. It is, especially if you're just learning how to play war games, I think it's a better system because there's less gotchas in it. So what I mean by that is like there's less faction-specific stratagems, which 40K has, which can lead to a lot of like, well, I didn't know that. I wouldn't have done that if I knew that that existed. And there's just too many factions to really know what all of them do and all of their gotchas unless you spend a really long time studying. Whereas with with Age of Sigmar, there's just like less of that stuff going on, so there's less of a mental load that you have to carry while you're learning. And most of they're called command abilities, but most of those, everybody has access to them. There's maybe like one or two that your opponent has access to that maybe you don't. So it's just like a much nicer playing experience, I think. And it allows you to really um, focus on learning like movement and tactics and stuff, and less time worrying about memorizing all the stratagems that you have access to. Plus the models are so nice. Like just so nice. Do I want to do anything in here? I don't think I do. No, I don't. I'm gonna leave those. I have some Cruel Boys I need to paint still. Not sure how to theme them. Anyone got a paint scheme idea? I honestly, like, I think that they take to almost any color that you want to paint. So, like, when my husband had Cruel Boys, he was doing them like bright yellow, and looked amazing. Bright yellow with kind of more neutral kind of colors on them, right? Like they were yellow.
Their clothes were like neutral,
army green and stuff.
and
Yeah.
then I had that
Yeah,
stuff, so
the
it had a little bit of blue in it.
verdigris in there too. And that looked really good. So they kind of lend themselves to whatever you want to do, I think. Reminds me when they came out with the Eldar book and the HQ unit they had on the cover was illegal with the kit in the artwork. They later errated him to be playable. Yeah, it's annoying. It's so annoying. Sounds like a good starting place to me too, Rob. As a totally new and inexperienced player, this is so refreshing. Um, but just chatting, just yeah. Um, I mean, I will sing the praises of Age of Sigmar 3.0 to the heavens. Um, yeah, it is still very tactical and there is still a lot to learn, but it's not like it doesn't feel like an impossible task, and 40K is starting to feel like an impossible task. It's just a little bit too crazy. I think that Age of Sigmar really walks the line between um, accessible for new players and having enough tactical nuance and rules um, to keep more veteran gamers happy as well. I also think that like skill when you're playing, like skill in maneuvering and that I think that it actually plays more of a role in getting your wins rather than just like who could memorize all their rules and bring the most crazy combination wombo combo. Hi, MICL. How's it going? I went to get back into the hobby. I kind of got frustrated with Kill Team, realizing I didn't like it as much as I thought. Plus, Void Dancers would just be an instant win. Um, so, like, what aspects of the hobby you wanted to specifically get back into playing? Because Rob and I are gonna try. Well, I think Rob's actually done boarding actions before. Um, which I have not. So we're gonna play boarding actions this Friday. Maybe that's kind of a maybe that's sort of a nice way to get back in. You know, a nice smaller game. I'm excited to try it. I really enjoy smaller games, and the rules are quite different in some regards to 40K. Like a lot they with the rules in boarding actions, it seems to have addressed some of the oddities in the rule set um, for 40K. So I'm really excited to see if those play out the way that I think that they will. This is the best list for orcs. Gaz, Makari, Weird Boy, Boss Zagstruck, 20 Gretchen, 30 Boys, Tank Bustas, Nom Squighog. Yeah, I mean you've got a little bit of everything. Seems really fun. I think it really depends like what clan you're playing. I'm glad that you found a list that you really like. My youngest daughter is getting a Gazgull painted by Unicorn Painter. Aww, so cute. Okay, now to do the rivets on this arm. I actually find doing rivets kind of zen-like. It's just kind of annoying when you find one that you missed. I used to actually individually wash each rivet. I don't do that anymore. Just like whatever. It's fine. My style is not like hyper realistic, so it's fine. I don't need to wash these rivets. They're painted. It's good enough. I have tried them, but it sounds like I may have done some of the rules wrong. All a learning journey. Yeah, we'll figure it out together. Nice. He's a great character. I've played with him 8 times. Nice. I thought about building a boarding party list. It seems accessible, like Kill Team, but with 40K rules. I've never played the new Kill Team, so I can't really speak to whether the rules are the same or not. I don't think that they are because it does play more like 40K. It's based off the 40K rules with just like some changes. Basically, like you have to be able to see if you're gonna do anything. So, like if your character gives out a buff, it only gives out a buff if the your other unit can see them. if that makes sense. So like everything, if you want to do psychic stuff, you can only do it if you can see the target no matter what. Like it's just really interesting to see how that changes, and there's a lot of differences too. Like in 40K, you can pile in and you can consolidate even if there's nothing within range of you, but you charged that turn. And in boarding actions, you can't do that. You can only pile in if you can make at least one model into engagement range, and you can only consolidate if every single model in your unit can get into engagement range. So it's really interesting. There's very small differences like that, that I think are really interesting, and I think it's gonna really change like the dynamics of the gameplay. I'm really excited to try it out. It takes a lot of the bloat out. Yeah, and there's not that many stratagems either. There's like 3 universal ones in the main book, and then the second book I looked through it briefly. There's a few more stratagems, but it's not anything too crazy. Even was my intro. I'm terrified of Mark of Zinj Terminators now. Ah. Well, this is getting an old one-eye as soon as Carnifex are back in stock. Aw. Can't shoot a squad standing behind the squad in front of them. Yeah, yeah, it's like there's a lot of like visibility rules that I think are really interesting. Okay, so moving on to the claw. Ooh. And I'm only gonna do like the top bits of the claw, because I don't think that there'd be that much. Well, you know what I'll do? Oh, I will do the bottom of this one. Not all the way though, just to there. It's really sweet that Unicorn Painters decided to paint them using the same paint girls use. Oh, that's so cute. This gets me so inspired to paint. Yes, success. I think, hope that boarding actions may be a catalyst to get me building and painting some of those, maybe an army at some point, lots I have in the back of the closet and the cupboards. Yeah, for sure. Like, um, I want to do Custodes with boarding actions because it's a faction that I don't really like. I haven't played a lot of, so it'll be kind of fun to get some more practice in with them and use some uh, units that I don't get to play that often because they're not as effective in 40K as other options. So, like, I'm so excited to try out a Blade Champion because I feel like their rules are pretty good. They're just the punch, like the damage output is not there for 40K because like basically you need to get in and kill stuff or else you're gonna like be pulverized next turn or same turn. So I'm excited to try him out. I don't think I've ever put him on the table before. So I know it's a digital table, but still. Lovely work on Bjorn. Oh, thank you. I finished painting for the day. Your channel is awesome. Aw, thank you so much. That's so sweet. Another fun highlight from my boarding action game, I had a sister's captain with a chainsword, and she got charged by cultists second round. She basically played Dark Tide the rest of the game. Oof. Kill team and boarding actions are where I put the ones I like but don't want full armies of. Yeah, it makes sense. Isn't a Custodes boarding patrol just 5 models? I think I said it was 9. It was 9 models. Yeah, 9 models. Love the dead wolf on the right side. Yeah, that's pretty fun. Okay, focus, Tanya. Focus on the task at hand. Okay, let's see the back here. What can I do on the back here? There'll be some rivets. Let's do this. I think this brush might finally be on its last legs, but it's okay because I got my Rosemary & Co. brushes, so I'm pretty excited to try them out, see if they are a better painting experience than these 25-cent babies that I love so much. I will say the shipping from Rosemary & Co. was very fast, like extremely fast. I wasn't expecting these until the end of March, and they came this week. So that's exciting. But yeah, I'm so excited to be able to have more time as well. Like I miss podcasting. We are taking a vacation. We're still talking about what we want to do when we get back, but it's been nice to have like an extra evening and an extra morning to myself. Um, so I'm really excited to see how this Patreon Discord game night goes. If we have fun, it could be something that I continue doing. Oh, I think he's so pretty. I'm very happy with how he's coming along. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit of black in my palette and then a little bit of white in there as well. We'll paint that little rune that I missed. How dare I? Fun is the goal. Yes, it is. I have not really looked at the missions, so I don't know if like if my list will play the missions very well or not. I mean I'm relying very heavily on that Custodes obsec to work for me. I'm almost at the end of this bold titanium white, so it takes a little bit of doing to get it out of there. No pressure, Tanya. You just painted everything else perfectly around it, so, just paint this rune really carefully. On stream, far away from your face, and you're not wearing your glasses. Eh, eh. Okay. And I'm gonna put just like the tiniest little bit of white into that black for the first highlight. Just a teeny tiny. Yeah. Ooh, boy. So I've been using this 25-cent brush for like a month. And I think she's finally just starting to give up the ghost. Totally worth the 25 cents. Okay. Whew. Wish, I wish, I wish I wore my glasses. That is too much white. That might be a little bit better. For 25 cents, she's been a trooper. It's true. It's true. Okay. So she's done. So like I said, off stream I'm gonna put the lettering on the banners. I haven't quite decided what I'm gonna put on them yet. I'm gonna use a fine liner, I think, to do that. And then next week we're gonna work on the base. Man, how did I get done like under time? That never happens. I'm gonna take him off the painting handle here so he doesn't fall over. So that's exciting. I did want to show you my new brushes though, because I want to give you like my first impressions. So I don't know if you can see. So I normally work with one about this size. Um, so I normally work at this size, but I got some different sizes here. So this is actually one of the cheaper ones that I bought. This is the Michael Klein Paintings signature artist signature brush, and this is the shape that I love. I love the big belly with the super fine point. So I am extremely excited to try these ones, and in fact, I'm so excited that I'm gonna leave them for last because I don't want them to like sort of influence how I feel about the other one. So I got that size in that one, and I got this one in so I got like a bit of a smaller one as well, but same shape, same material. I also kind of like that like the finish on these ones is satin. It's so funny. This is like the cheaper brushes because they look more expensive than these ones, but they're not. They're almost half the price, which is crazy. Um, so yeah, that's pretty crazy. But yeah, I they look expensive, but they're actually quite inexpensive. And then I got these ones. So these ones are all different. What are they? So they're all number twos. And so this one is called a Shiraz. I'm not sure which ones are going to be like the softest out of all of them, but I think this one was the second most expensive. Again, super fine point. So excited to try this one as well. I think that they're all Taklon of some sort. So this one was the most expensive one, I believe. Yeah. Ivory, pointed round. Again, super fine point. Um, I'm not sure why this one was so much more, but I guess we'll find out. Um, and all of these brushes are rated for like pretty much all paint types. And then this one is called Evergreen, and this one had the least amount of write-up on it, and I can tell this is probably going to be the softest one. So this one's probably going to be closest to a sable in how it performs. It doesn't appear to have as fine of a tip as the other ones. Yeah, I'm going to try this one next. Its point is still very good, but it's not as fine as the other ones. So, um, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Interesting that it's kind of like these green color in the bristles. So yeah, this is going to be the one that I try next. So on the next project on stream, I'll use this one and I'll sort of give you guys a run through of how I feel about it. Can't wait to see how they do. Yeah, me too. Like I said, like I've tried a lot of brushes in my time painting, and like nothing I've liked nothing as much as I love these 25-cent brushes. So, um, we'll see how it goes with these ones. Hopefully they do what you want. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I have a lot of my backup brushes if they're all really bad, but um, I don't think that they'll be bad. They have really nice points on them, so and I don't really see any guide hairs or anything that I need to cut off because that's like the one thing with the 25-cent brushes is that they're not handmade. These ones are all handmade, so yeah, I don't see anything that I need to trim or anything like that. I have such a bad habit of getting a new brush but not using it as I'm afraid to ruin it. Ah, well, I mean, if it gets ruined, it gets ruined, right? And like this one, I didn't actually really like these ones because the point wasn't very good and they broke down quite fast anyway. Like the bristles, when you get I guess it's any brush really, but when you get like synthetic brushes, they do tend to break down a lot faster. But these ones were ridiculous in how they broke down. White Taklon has never really been my favorite. I think it's too expensive for what you get. Like when you compare it to Golden Taklon, just like lasts a lot longer. Um, but yeah, so I've just been wrecking this one and using it as like my oh shit brush because it doesn't even hold a point anymore. So I've been using it for wash. I've been using it to like soak up my mistakes, but it's almost toasted too. So then when I start a new brush, the brush that I was using before becomes the oh shit brush. So then this one will become the one that I use to sort of do wash and soak up my mistakes and stuff like that. But I mean, point's still good. It's got like a little bit of a hook on there. It's not as good as it was before. I do the same thing with notebooks. Oh no, so I'm like a notebook junkie. I like to take notes about everything. I always have at least two around me at a time. What do I have right now? One, two, three. I have four. Um, but I just take like so many notes about everything. If I don't write it down, there's no hope that I'm even going to remember it. Um, so notebook junkie for sure. Like if anybody ever wants to know what to get me for Christmas, like get me a cool new notebook or pens. I like pens, different colored pens. Everybody has like their weird things that they like, right? Um, okay, so this is where we got to today. The boy is basically done. Next week we're gonna work on his base. So we're gonna make it look something like this. I'm gonna add some snow to it though. I might actually add snow to Ragnar and um, Geiger at the same time that I do this one. So, um, but yeah, we're gonna add some tufts. We're gonna add some texture paint. Like I might do some skulls as well um, on him. So and I actually really like basing now, so it should be really fun. I don't know what else I could actually put on the base because there's actually quite a bit of room on here because these dreadnoughts are so tiny and cute. So I'm gonna give that a think over the week and decide what I want to do on his base. Um, so Wednesday we're gonna continue on with the rare rules. Um, if you don't write it down, it never happened. Exactly. It didn't happen. If I didn't write it down, if I didn't put something in my calendar, it's not going to happen. So, um, Wednesday we continue with the rare rules on Warhammer 40k Explained. Um, so that's exciting. And then Friday, if you're in the Patreon Discord, which come join us. If you're in the Patreon Discord, we're going to be streaming the boarding actions game on Friday. So that's going to be at, I think, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. I'm really excited. It's going to be really fun. And like that's it. That's all that I got this week. So I'm enjoying like the bit of a break from everything, but we are getting ready to come back for Forge the Narrative at least. So that's exciting. Um, oh hey Nikki, how's it going? And yeah, I wish that we could post like links in the chat here, but And yeah, that's all that I have for you all today. I'm finishing right on time. I actually finished under time because I did all that edge highlighting super quickly. Um, but yeah, that's all I have for you. I hope that you all have an amazing week. Come join us in the Patreon Discord if you'd like to watch that game. And until next time, everybody, be nice and roll dice. Bye.